Welcome everyone to the Merch Minds podcast episode 151. I apologize. I know you guys been sending me messages. I've read them, and this particular episode, I'm going to talk about why I haven't put out much content. And I have my good friend RJ Martinez. What's going on, brother?
Yo, what's up, man? Thank you for having me.
You obviously know everything that's been happening in my personal life because we talk almost on a daily basis. But yeah, I mean, things have been pretty hectic, and but trust me, I've read all your messages. And before I continue, I want to apologize to Ryan Raymond because we actually recorded an episode about 4 weeks ago, and I've been sitting on it. And then I realized that that particular episode never recorded. So now I have to get Ryan back and do another episode with him. So, Ryan, if you're listening, my sincere apologies to you. And again, my apologies to my loyal followers and listeners. Man, where do I start? First of all, RJ, happy belated birthday. Yesterday was your birthday. How old are you now, my friend?
31 years old.
Woo, boy! 31.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yep,
You guys, you got a little facial hair going on,
yeah,
31, huh?
Dude, I had facial hair growing out when I was like 16, but it never connected. It would never connect right here until I turned 22, 23.
This still doesn't connect right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a half a century old, man. This still doesn't freaking connect.
Well, because you're Asian, you know that. You know most Asians don't grow facial hair. I see some of them, but they're like mixed with
I don't know, man. I have a lot of facial
Cambodian or
hair.
something.
I have a lot of facial hair, man, for an Asian. But yeah, this never connects. But man, what you do for your birthday?
Nothing, man. I just chilled. I just chilled yesterday. I just chilled because I was just chilling and I wasn't gonna do nothing. Only thing I did was buy myself some Thai food. I wanted Thai food.
You wanted Thai food? I remember talking to you yesterday. You were like, "Man, I want to get some good Thai food." How was it?
Good, dude. You have to try this one. Like the noodles, like you get the drunken noodle, right? And I get it with chicken. Sometimes I like to mix it up and get everything in there with the beef, shrimp, all that stuff.
What is that? Drunk chicken?
No, it's a drunken noodle.
Oh, drunken noodle. What is that?
Yeah, it's like the thick noodle, right?
I don't know.
Pad Ki Mao.
I know pad thai.
Pad Ki Mao. It's basically the thicker noodle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Pad Ki Mao, but the drunken noodle basically. It's
called Pacquiao.
Pad Ki Mao. Yes,
Right.
and I get it with chicken, and I get it very spicy, number 10. And my girlfriend's like, dude, I can't even take a bite of that because it's so spicy. I was like, that's the whole point. I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, it's really amazing. The noodles don't stick together. And that's really cool because you can tell, like, you know what I mean, the ingredients and the way they do all the flavors and all that stuff is really good. It's called Thai pepper. It's over here in San Diego. If you guys are in the area or whatever, go check it out. Thai pepper, really amazing food. It's awesome.
The best Thai food I ever had was in Thailand.
Oh,
yeah. Dude, you know what's crazy is how and this is the whole American culture, right? You go into like a Thai restaurant, they always ask you, how do you want it, mild, medium, or spicy, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Thailand, they don't even ask you that. You don't have a choice. Everything's spicy. I remember we went to this one restaurant, man. It was good, but the food was so we had their papaya salad and they made it really spicy. I remember we were just drenched in sweat, man. I mean, it was number one, the weather's hot.
Yeah.
But number two, we're eating the spicy papaya salad, but it was so good, man. And we're just wiping our foreheads, we're sniffling, but it was so good.
I had that last night too. So I always get either get like the spring rolls or this papaya salad, and then they either like pad thai or drunken. It all depends how I feel, but I got that papaya salad yesterday, very spicy, dude. I was sweating.
Spicy.
I was sweating. My nose is running. I was like, dang, man, this is really good.
And then it's crazy because I go to Thai foods here in the States, and then when they do ask me how spicy do you want it, I tell them make it spicy. Make it extra spicy if you can. And when they bring it out, it's still not spicy.
There's a way you can say it in Thai, right? But I've never. My buddy always says it in Thai when we go eat Thai food. When we used to work together, he would say it in Thai, and then like, oh, okay, and then they go to the kitchen. And yeah,
but good stuff, man. Did Jocelyn get you anything? A gift?
No. I don't like
Nothing?
gifts. I don't like. Her parents got me something, and I was like, stop it! Don't send me nothing. Nice. They sent me a gift card.
I bought you a gift. I'll give it to you when I see you.
I don't like gifts.
I'll give it to you when I see you.
Don't be weird, young.
I'll give it to you when I see you.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is an episode. I know this, my podcast, the Merch Mind podcast, we talk about print on demand, and we'll talk about it a little here. But I wanted to put this episode out again to just really let you guys know the reason why I haven't been putting out much content. There's a lot of things that's been going on, and I wanted to share that with you guys. But merch is officially back, right?
Yep.
It's been a few weeks, I think. What, 3 weeks, maybe even longer? And
almost 3 weeks. Almost 3 weeks on the first.
Almost 3 weeks. Okay.
Yep.
And I don't know. I'm still not seeing. It's weird because here's the thing. When merch was supposedly shut down, I shouldn't say supposedly, they were, right? I mean, we know that for a fact.
Yeah.
When they were shut down, I would get maybe 3 or 4 sales a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that supposedly merch is back up and running to its full capacity, I'm not doing any better. So it's like I don't know, man. It's frustrating. I don't know what to do. I still love it, but I've said this 1,000 times. I have a love-hate relationship with Merch by Amazon, and I can complain, but at the end of the day, I just got to keep grinding away. So, but how's it been working for you the last few weeks?
Last month I hit a really good milestone. It was the best month ever for me.
I remember that.
Remember I talked to you about that.
Yeah, and you actually shared that on your YouTube channel, right? You want to kind of talk about that briefly?
Yeah,
for the people that don't subscribe to you.
No, for sure. Thank you. I think it was crazy because like, I don't know, with everything I met some guy today over here I went to the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, well, congratulations.
I met some guy today. We're talking
nothing
about
wrong with that, man.
It's like this year's like probably like one of the best years for me, but it doesn't feel like it because of everything that's going on, right? People are like, when people hurt, I don't like to see people hurt, or when stuff happens in the world, I don't like to see people feel like down and out. So I'm more of a people person. I feed off of that type of energy. So, but other than that, like last month is like, it's been the best month, and it doesn't really feel like that because of exactly what I just said before that. So last month was a good month for me, and did $12,528 for the month of June.
That is phenomenal. Here's the thing. And here's, we have to be very sensitive about what we say these days, obviously, because racism is a very sensitive topic, right? Yeah. And we know that a lot of people are saying things, and then things are getting backlashed and whatnot. But I know for a fact that there are some people out there, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I know some people had made some shirts in relations to the whole Black Lives Matter long before George Floyd was murdered, and I know that they did really good in June as well. I'll be honest with you, man. I mean, and I did okay in that niche, considering, I didn't do as good as you. But man, I swear, man, I'd rather give up all that money, give it away just to have George Floyd back. It is never a good thing to see a human being die, especially the way he did. Video, even just me talking about it, I'm thinking about that video in my head, and it's just, that was tough. But I'd rather give all that money away just to have him back. It's
No, it just also too just well, it like it depends. Like it's a culture, right? So it's a culture. Like
Yeah,
so if you
and like I
built
said, I
around
mean,
the
but
evergreen niche, right? It's a culture,
yeah,
right?
sure,
Like a Mexican. Okay, so for example, me, like a Mexican, right? I mean,
uh-huh,
my first niche that I ever done well in was in
mm-hmm,
Cinco de Mayo, right? When I
mm-hmm.
first started merch by Amazon,
Yeah, no,
and
and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, I know a lot of these shirts were made, you know, 2 years
mhm.
before all this even went down. So, but I'm just saying, I'm great that a lot of people made money in June, but at the same time, my thinking is, man, I would totally give that money up to get the guy back.
Mhm.
I really would. So that's good, and we know uh, booty ass freaking Printful. Uh, well, and here's the thing, I say that in a very joking manner, and obviously it's not their fault, right? I mean, the pandemic
Yeah,
literally killed every industry almost.
there's a
So
lot, dude. There's a lot that's going on right now,
yeah,
right?
I mean,
There's a
and
lot.
and so I say that in a very joking manner. It was, and obviously it's not a fault of their own, but because of the whole pandemic, they're like 5, 6 weeks behind on production, and I've noticed the last week or two they've been slowly catching up.
Hmm.
So that's good news. But I had to deactivate a lot of my bestsellers because um, it's just taking them forever
Hmm.
to fulfill, and I'm just sick and tired of responding to emails that I get literally every day now from customers asking where their order is. So I deactivated a bunch of my bestsellers on Etsy, and it sucks, and I've been trying to find a workaround. I know a lot of people recommended Shirtly. The problem with Shirtly is I use the Gildan 64,000s
Hmm.
on Printful, which is their cheapest shirt by far, and Shirtly doesn't carry them.
Yeah.
So I don't use Shirtly for that particular reason. I even, dude, check this out. Well, I don't know if I'm sure you know this. I mean, I've talked to so many people I can't remember who I told. Well, no. You do know this. I even reached out to local printers and try to have them fulfill my orders, and I come to realize that no one can compete with Printful because Printful, as a huge corporation, as a huge company,
Hmm.
right? And they have thousands and thousands and thousands of customers like you and I. They make their money on volume, right?
Yeah.
That's how they're making their money. Uh, and these local mom and pop printers, they can't compete. They're like, what? Printful's only charging you $7.95? They're like, damn, man. They're like, stay with Printful then. And I'm trying to tell them, but their production is 5, 6 weeks behind.
Hmm.
But yeah, a lot of these local printers, man, they are shocked at how
Well, because
at least. Well, again, this is
they're
just
trying
for
to
the
make a
guild.
profit
This
too.
is just for the Gildan 64,000s, okay?
Hmm.
But the process is, again, talking to these local printers, they're saying, man, they're like, we can't even compete with that price because they're like, number one, we have to buy the shirt, which is relatively cheap, right? Like I know how much they cost wholesale,
Yeah.
right? They're like $2, man, maybe three at the most. They're like, but then, the cost of ink, uh,
It's like
we
another
got,
$3.
we need to treat the shirt, and there was a bunch of other stuff, shipping and handling, and it's just they're like we can't compete with that price, man. So it's been frustrating. I went and found this local printer here in Silicon Valley, here in San Jose. This guy was talking crazy, man. I wanted to slap the hell out of him. He was talking crazy, yo. So I found him. He invited me to his shop. He's in North San Jose here. I went to his warehouse, and he's got a cool setup, man. The guy has like 30 of those Brother GTX printers.
Hmm.
30 of them. He's got like employees. It's almost like a little miniature merch by Amazon center almost, right?
Hmm.
He's got like freaking 20, 30 employees printing these shirts out. I mean, they have forklifts going in and out of the freaking warehouse, bringing in cases of T-shirts. So now I was like really impressed. Anyway, long story short, I approached them. I said, "Hey, man, this is what I'm doing. I sell shirts on Etsy. Uh, I'm using Printful at the moment. You know, they're having issues because of the whole pandemic." This guy tells me, "I can do it for you, but I want to be business partners." Right? I'm like, "What does that mean? 50-50 on everything, right?" I'm like, "I don't even know you, man." I'm like, "I literally just came off the streets 2 minutes ago. You're talking, you want to be business partners." I'm like, "I'm just a small guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'm making thousands and thousands of dollars a day, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So the guy is talking crazy about, oh, 50-50 split. We got to get attorneys involved, this and that. I'm like, "Look, man, I just want you guys to fulfill my shirts, man. You're talking nonsense."
Yeah.
And so unfortunately that didn't work out, man. But I was really impressed by his whole operation. Like I said, when I first got there, I was really impressed. But yeah, I heard what he's talking about. He wanted to be business partners, and I literally wanted to slap the hell out of him. Uh, but um, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. So it looks like merch is back. Now, how's KDP? I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
What do you think about, like, because you can see, like, I see a lot of people that are complaining about shipping times and stuff like that. And I talked to Ron Watt about this, and I was like, dude, at the end of the day, it's your fault, because you're the one. It's your business. It's your fault. It's not their fault. It's your fault. Just because Printful's 4 weeks behind, it's your damn fault. It's like, okay, at the end of the day, the end of the damn day, it's your business.
It's your
It's not
business.
their fault.
And
You
I'm
need to
glad you
figure
brought,
that-
and
you need to
I'm
figure that shit
glad,
out.
and I'm
Right?
glad you brought that up, because this is something that I want to kind of get into later in the show. But I've said this 1,000 times, right? I mean, RJ, many of my listeners know me originally from the reselling community, again, which I still do. I still resell. It's fun, and you and I were talking about it earlier today
Yeah.
on the phone. Um, and But one of the things that I've always said is, it's never your business when you're on someone else's platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Merch by Amazon, right? I know a lot of people that make very good money on Merch by Amazon, and they talk about how it's their business. The truth is, it's really not your business. Again, you have no control. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the last couple of months, that was proof. That was the what did they say? Oh gosh, I'm trying to come up with the saying. Anyways, that was proof that it's not our
Mm-hmm.
business, right? I mean,
Yeah.
again, it wasn't Amazon's fault. It was the pandemic. But when they shut down, it affected our business, and I'm doing the air quotes here, right?
Yeah.
So technically, it's not our business when we're using someone else's platform, eBay,
Mm-hmm.
even Etsy. That is, we all call it a business, but technically it's not our business because we don't have control, right? My dad, I talk about my dad a lot. He was a small business owner. That was his business because he owned it. He called the shots. He made the purchases. That was his business, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one else was telling him what to do, right? No one else told him, "Oh, we're having a pandemic, so you need to shut down for 2 months." That was never going to happen again because that was his business. I mean, technically, I guess you can say, "Oh, well, the county can shut him down." That's true,
Mm-hmm.
but I just want to let you know that, again, I love Etsy, I love eBay, I love doing merch, I love FBA, but at the end of the day, you guys have to remember, it is not our business, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
I think
glad you brought that up.
just a click of a button, right? And that's another thing too. And like people like with Shopify, oh yeah, I have my own website. Yes, I have my own website. But then Shopify can shut you down too because of the transactions. I know a few people that got their Shopify shut down because they have too many orders coming in. I'm just like, how are you gonna do that?
We're having too many orders come in?
Too many orders coming in.
Interesting.
The processor will not ensure they'll let many orders come in. And I'm talking about like Stripe, like a big business like that. So many orders coming in, they will not and like back that. They won't. It's weird because you break the internet, you run Facebook ads, do all that stuff. They're like, dude, you have to find another payment processor because you have too many orders coming in and we cannot assure this. It's like a risk for us personally. You know what I mean? At Stripe, you know what I mean? It's a risk for them to ensure that many orders coming in. So they won't do it. But then adding to you like a physical location, right? Your own business. Like some of these local businesses over here in San Diego, and I'm paying attention to a lot of this stuff. I'm just like, they're closing down again because they can only have so many people inside. And that's not profitable for them. So they just close the whole thing down. It doesn't make no sense for them. They're like losing money if they stay open.
Yeah.
It's weird and it sucks. But what they're doing is they're going it's weird because it's like the gray area. Some people just like, they don't want this. They don't want them to do that because they think that, you know, more people are going to catch like the COVID-19, all that stuff. But they're like in a situation of either they pay the rent or they lose their business, right? And people are very like in the grind mode, like I'm never going to lose my business because I work my butt off, right? So what they're doing is if you have an outside patio that can be open. So what people are doing right now is extending the outside patio so they can get more customers in there. So they're doing what they can do to stay open. And it's, in a way, I see it as, yeah, it can be bad, but in a way, the way I was raised, like in a lower income community, it's you do whatever it takes to stay in business, right? And I've seen like a few people, like my homie and his Mexican, his mom is Mexican, right? And she works her butt off, right? And she'll do whatever it takes to put food on the table, right? Those type of people. And I love those type of people, but it's weird because that's not right. Everyone's going to catch this and they're going to die because of you and do that. And dude, there's no medium right now. It's kind of weird, right? Because it's like either one or the other. Either you do this and you're wrong, or you do this and then you're right, but then you suffer. It's weird because you can't rely on the government. You can't. You rely on the government, you're not going to wait 3 months later, then you get a $600 weekly paycheck or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, these are definitely uncertain times, man.
Sucks.
It does suck, and you know what? So that's a great segue into me talking about why I haven't been putting out a lot of content and stuff. So, RJ, you know all this, so just bear with me as I tell the listeners what's going on. So, ever since the whole pandemic started. Well, number one, I mean, if you guys really want to get technical, I mean, we can go back all the way to late last year when I was on jury duty, right? I was gone for a couple months. And then after jury duty was over, you know, it took about another month or two to kind of really get back into the swing of things. And then what, 2020 started, obviously, March, April came around, and that's when the whole pandemic started. And ever since then, it's just a lot of things have changed. And I'm not going to say for the better, but so number one, I'm very fortunate. I am very blessed to even have a job during all this. My boss pretty much give us the green light to work remotely from home. Okay, so I've been working from home for the past few months, and so I'm forever grateful. And then I recently got news that my father, he now has cancer. Okay, he now has cancer, and that's something I don't want to talk too much about. But they're in Orange County, and I know in the past on the podcast I've always talked about wanting to work remotely and be in Orange County, right? Because I've always talked about how my parents are in Orange County, and it'd be ideal for me to work remotely and move down there so I could be closer to them. Anyway, because we have the green light from my day job, I am temporarily relocating to Orange County. until sometime next year, until Stanford says you have to come back physically report to the office. Okay, so I'm temporarily relocating to Orange County. In fact, the last uh, 3-4 weeks um, have been extremely difficult, um, because if you guys ever moved, you know what it's like. It is not fun. It is not fun. It's been 2 weeks, and I'm doing this all by myself, right? I mean, at some point, I'll probably hire a maid and have them maybe clean out the unit a bit. But as you can see, RJ, obviously for the listeners that can't see, because this is technically a podcast, but I'm gonna hold up my computer and my camera here. RJ, you see all these. Just confirm to the listeners that you see all these boxes and stuff that I'm packing, right?
Yeah, I see all the
Right?
boxes.
Yeah.
Also see that the Jerry Rice, Steve Young back there.
Yeah. So what RJ is referring to is I have a poster that is framed in the back. I'm a huge 49er fan, obviously being in the Bay Area. I have a 49er poster back there. On the poster is Terrell Owens. The guy always says Terrell. You know what? I want to call him Terrell. No. He always. I'm sorry. He always says Terrell. He always says, "Call me Terrell." I want to call him Terrell. I had it backwards. Terrell Owens, J.J. Stokes, Steve Young, Garrison Hurst, and Jerry Rice. Okay, so it's a poster of all 5 players. All 5 of them signed that poster, and it's nicely framed, hanging on my wall.
How much that go for? Sell that back away.
No, you know what?
I'm just kidding.
I have a lot of memorabilia that I am trying to get rid of. That I am keeping.
Yeah.
But as you can see, RJ, and you obviously can, again, you can see everything here that I'm packing, throwing away. So the last 2-3 weeks, it's been a lot of trips, um, you know, going to the Goodwill. In fact, I was bitching at RJ the other day. I was like, damn it, there's no Goodwills open that's taking donations, right? Because obviously, again, because of the pandemic, I was able to find a couple. And even then, when I go, there's a line of cars going around the corner. It's like everyone and their mom is obviously all of a sudden is donating. So that's been a hassle. I've made a few trips to the dumpster, and this is what I told RJ. I've said this many times. I always say, and RJ, you obviously experienced this yourself, and we might even go over the hour mark here. I know normally I try and keep the podcast to about an hour, but again,
special edition over.
You know, I just have a lot to talk about. I know a lot of people have been asking where I've been and stuff. So we might go a little over, but you know, I always talk about how expensive the Bay Area is, right? And you obviously experienced it. What, last year, and you saw the prices for yourself. It's expensive. So instead of me moving all my stuff down to Orange County, I've made a decision to just get rid of everything, and then whatever else that I'm keeping, I'm just going to throw into the storage unit until next year. And the reason I'm doing that is because this is one thing about U-Haul trucks here in the Bay Area, okay? I can rent a truck one way, let's say to Reno, Nevada, okay?
Yeah.
So I can rent a truck, a U-Haul truck from San Jose, California to Reno, Nevada. It'll cost me about $2,000 to rent that truck, okay? From San Jose to Reno.
Yeah.
From Reno to rent a truck to go to from Reno to San Jose one way, it'll cost about $800. Okay, that is why I keep saying that's Silicon Valley for you, man. It's ridiculous. So the point that I'm trying to make is I don't want to have to pay $2,000-$3,000, right, to move my stuff down to Orange County when it's temporary, right? So I'm getting rid of everything. Again, there are some stuff that I'm keeping, obviously, but I'm getting rid of most of the stuff. And then when I get to Orange County, what I'm going to do is I'm staying in one of those extended stay hotels. And I thought long and hard about this. I've even gone online and I was looking for places that I can rent temporarily, but they're kind of hard to find because most people want like a year lease, right? They want me to sign like a year lease. Some people are willing to do month to month, um, but they're just really, really difficult to find. And it's difficult to find one that's dog friendly. I mean, obviously, I do have a dog. So I decided the best decision that I was going to make is to stay in a um, extended stay hotel, right? They're dog number one, they're dog friendly. Number two, they're the right price. And number three, it just makes sense, man. I mean, in fact, I probably save money because here's the thing: uh, they are, again, they're reasonably priced, but everything's included. All the utilities, Wi-Fi, water, garbage, cable, whatever, right? That's all included. So I don't have to pay anything extra. Um, and and yeah, and then once it's time to come back, I can give the front desk some notice and say, hey, this is my checkout date. So it's just super easy that way, right? And I know one of the questions that people are probably going to ask is, well, why aren't you going to stay with your parents? So I said this many times on the show as well. My parents, they are officially retired. They are old. They live in a retirement community. Okay, technically they can have guests, and I can stay with them, but I don't know, just living in the retirement community for the next 3-4 months, that's just not my thing, right? I want my own space. I want,
You're gonna be practicing. What are you talking about?
you
You're
know,
gonna
I,
be
I, I
there.
want, I want my privacy. So that's why I'm staying in an extended stay hotel. Um, One of my buddies who knows what I'm doing asked me, well, he goes, again, this has to do with me reselling. He goes, well, what are you going to do with all your stuff? So that's a good question. And he's talking about my like my eBay stuff and all that,
Uh-huh.
right? So I'm the big items, obviously I don't want to take with me. So that's going to be stored in storage. The
Yeah.
small stuff like shoes and things like that, I'm going to take whatever I can with me in Orange County and continue my eBay business from Orange County. So that way, if I sell something, um, you know, number one, again, they won't be too big. They'll be like a pair of shoes or whatever, um, and it'll just be easy for me um, to ship out. And number two, I am going to continue my reselling business. So the hotel that I'm staying in, I found out that right around the corner, literally like they're almost like right around the corner. They're like almost next door. There's a storage unit down there right next to the hotel. So I figured, you know what? For the 3, 4, 5, or maybe even 6 months that I'm there, I can get the smallest storage unit that they have, throw my eBay stuff, in there. If I want to do local marketplace sales, I can have people meet me there instead of coming to the hotel. Um, so it's gonna work out, right? It's gonna
Mhm.
work out. So yeah, so that's pretty much what's been happening. And then with my day job, I talked about me being able to work remotely. They've, you know, and you guys know me, man. I'm pretty transparent about everything, and I'll say this on the air. I don't care if my boss listens to me or not. I don't think she knows that I do a podcast, but they recently made some changes that I'm really not happy about. And the some decisions were made without my input, um, and I'm just not satisfied with some of the things that they've done, and I'm uh, considering almost leaving my day job. And Arja, again, you know this. We talked about
Mhm.
this a lot. So there's a good possibility that I might be leaving my day job.
Yeah.
So who knows? So and if I do, maybe that move isn't temporary. right? Maybe I will be in Orange County for a while. Who knows? Either way, I will see RJ in September.
I passed up a Vespa right now, by the way. I just thought
Did
about
you?
it. She was doing DoorDash. I told her, I was like, walk by her, I was like, cool bike. And
Oh,
then
she was doing DoorDash.
she's doing DoorDash. I was like, cool.
So,
That's dope. And
so
then she passed me up on the at the stoplight. She passed right by me.
that's funny.
That's
That's
cool.
funny. And so, and now I haven't told you about this, RJ. But now, as far as the podcast is concerned, again, I've read all your messages. Now, again, I do apologize for the lack of content. I do want to continue doing the podcast, but again, I just have so much going on in my life right now. Things are hectic. Um, so I think I might really minimize the podcast to like 2 episodes per month. For 3.5 years, Glenn and I were putting out weekly content and that's a long time,
It's a long
right?
time.
And we were dedicated, man. Every week we were putting out weekly episodes, and we had a blast. And I have no intention of quitting, guys. It's not that I'm trying to quit. Again, it's I mean, I wish you guys could see what my room looks like right now. I mean, the place is in shambles because, again, I'm in the middle of packing, and it's just things are everywhere. My mind isn't, I'm not thinking about doing a podcast. My mind right now is, I'm thinking about moving. I'm thinking about packing. I'm thinking about throwing things away. Um, so, so I'm thinking about minimizing the Merch Mind podcast to twice a month. However, this is something that I've been thinking about for a long, long time. Um, I'm thinking maybe I might start a new podcast, RJ, and talk about entrepreneurship in general.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is, look, there's hundreds and hundreds of podcasts out there about entrepreneurship and businesses, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, we don't need another one. And that's true. We don't, right? We don't need another one because that market is pretty saturated. But you know what? I mean, it's never become more apparent until recently with the whole pandemic that people just don't understand how important it is to have multiple income streams, right? And I want to maybe start a podcast. And again, this isn't a certain thing. I'm still thinking about it. But I want to maybe do a podcast and really just talk to people from all walks of life in any industry, whether they're doing print on demand, merch by Amazon, eBay, drop shipping, affiliate marketing, whatever, DoorDash, they're, if they have a career doing food delivery, those are the people that I want to talk to so I can motivate you guys that, look, merch by Amazon, print on demand, it's all great. And I'm going to continue doing it just like everyone else because I just love it. It's fun. But it's, again, it wasn't, I mean, it's more apparent now that you guys really, really need to focus on diversifying your income stream because, again, I talked to many of you guys and many of you guys suffered because, you guys were only doing merch by Amazon or just Etsy, and a lot of people were struggling. Look, I'll raise my hand. I struggled too, right? All my income streams took a hit. The only thing that was stable was my paycheck from my day job, right? But all my other incomes, they all took a hit. But at the end of the day, at least I could walk away and say, hey, at least I had something coming in. I swear to God, RJ, I need to freaking trademark this, okay? I need to trademark because I say this all the time now. Like, I rather have something than nothing,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'd rather drive Uber Eats and make that $5 than not doing anything.
Yeah.
Right.
But then also too, everyone struggles too, right? Everyone in their own way, they struggle. Everyone does. And if they say that they don't, they're lying to you. They're full of
Well, we
shit.
all struggle. We all struggle, right?
Everyone struggles.
As human beings, we all struggle. The point that I'm trying to make is, I really, really want to share with you guys and just educate you guys about how there's other things out there besides just print on demand. And like I said, this isn't me saying I'm going to quit doing print on demand. I would never quit doing print on demand. Mm-hmm. It's just again, it hasn't become more apparent until recently. And I just saw, people struggling, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, and I talked about this all the time. I mean, go out and do Uber Eats or go do that. And dude, remember that one week? No, that one day I did Uber Eats.
Yeah. And you did
And I
like a
and I sent you that screenshot. I wasn't bullshitting nobody, man. I sent RJ a screenshot
200, 300 a day.
because I wanted to figure. I wanted to I wanted to hold myself accountable. Like who am I to tell people to go do Uber Eats, and yet I don't really do it myself. So I went out and I drove for a little over 8 hours. What did that screenshot say? It was just a little under $400.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I was gonna say it's between 200, 300 around that area, but yeah,
It was like
300, yeah,
392
something,
or
yeah.
something. I don't think that's normal. I think for whatever reason, for it was just popping that day. So don't go sign up for Uber Eats and say, oh, this motherfucker lied to me, right? Because you're probably not gonna make that kind of money, right, all the time. For whatever reason, that day I think they were having like bonuses, and I think just tips in general was people were tipping like crazy that night.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of want to maybe start another podcast about just entrepreneurship in general. I mean, there's so many things that I can share with you guys, and I don't claim to be an expert in anything, but I know a lot. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been on eBay since like '98, right? Um,
It's when Tupac dropped his first album.
Hell yeah, God, rest in peace, Tupac.
Just kidding.
Um, you know, I was like the king of FBA, man. Like doing retail arbitrage. I taught YouTubers, people that you guys follow. I taught them how to do Amazon FBA, right?
That's dope.
Again, you guys don't know about me because I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't want to be on YouTube. At times I am, obviously through RJ and all that, but so I have experience in doing all this. Um, in- and I want to talk about not just those things, but again, just people in every part of the industry, in just every industry known to man. If you're making money, I want to talk to you, man. Share your story.
I seen a guy making balloons, animal balloons today, and this is another thing, man. Not too many people can do that. For one, they care too much about what other people think of them, and for two, he has a talent, right? I'm like, dude, that's badass. You're making animal balloons. You can do your thing. You're dressed up in the costume. Not too many people will do that because they care about others think about them. But he's out there hustling, making balloons for $5 or $3, whatever it is. And then there was one more. I walked past a lady stand. She can make a bracelet for you in 5 minutes. That's the sign said, I'll make a bracelet for you in 5 minutes with your name on it.
Yeah. Those are the people that I want to talk to, and maybe that will fire a lot under your ass and have you guys go out there and try something new, right? I mean, print on demand, again, it's fun, it's nice, oh, I just want to make passive income, but when shit like this happens and you guys are struggling, well, there is no income, right? So that's something that I've been really thinking about, and I don't know, man. Maybe I'll have RJ do it with me. I don't know.
You're gonna make me dress up in a clown outfit and make animal balloons?
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know, man. But it's something that I've been thinking about doing, man. Because I feel like I have a lot to share, and like for instance, man, remember that one time I was telling you about that doctor who quit her practice so she can be a dog sitter full time on Rover.com.
Oh yeah.
She was making like over $100,000 a year. See, like those are the people that I want to track down and interview, because I think it's just interesting and very fascinating, right?
Another thing too, a lot of people don't understand it's way harder, right? And it's way harder to do like your own side hustle that turns into your full-time gig. It's way harder to do that, but at the same time, you have the freedom to do what you want when you want, right?
I don't think it's hard as you think. I think it's just very nerve-wracking, right? Like even now, when I was talking about maybe quitting my job, it's nerve-wracking for me to say that because, for the last 15, 16 years, I had that security, right? I had that security of collecting a steady paycheck, right? But now that I'm talking about maybe leaving, well, now I got to really step up my game on all my little side hustles, right? I mean, one of the things that I do a lot, again, I don't talk about it much, but I do, um, um, I sell stuff on local marketplaces like
Mhm.
Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and just recently Nextdoor. And you know, this month I'm probably this month is a little, this month is a little different because I'm selling a little more because again, I'm finding stuff as I
Yeah.
move, and I'm selling those
Because you have more
on
items, right? You have
yeah,
merchandise.
yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
like I said, I'm getting rid of everything. So I'm selling. So this month I'm making a little more than normal, but
You check out
uh,
the local singles on Craigslist too.
all the time, all the time. Do they have do they have that part? I thought
Like
they.
when
I
I was
thought.
like 17 years old, I was like, dude, for real, I was like, just being a little teenager.
Huh,
And I was checking it out. I was like, dude, they do. What the heck?
that's funny. So so yeah, man. So I've been thinking about doing that, um, and so I'm not going anywhere, guys. I mean, as far as content wise, now, but physically, I am going somewhere, and that's Orange County. But it'll be good for me because, again, I've been talking about wanting to move to Orange County for some time now. I mean, like almost 2 years.
Mhm.
So I think this would be a good trial to see if I really enjoy it, right? You
Yeah.
know, you know.
I have a place I'm going to take you to, by the way, when you come down to visit me. I already have it.
Mhm.
Me and Jocelyn were talking about it today. My girlfriend were
Okay.
talking about it, and it's a nice one. This
Hmm.
is a little oyster place too,
Oh,
as
I
well.
love oysters too, man.
So this one's a new one. They just built it on the pier. It's open.
Mm.
And it's weird too. Like I told you too, the seating, like the way that they're doing it,
Hmm.
you stay in business and all that stuff. And this one just opened up. Crazy. Imagine just opening up during like everything that's going on.
Yeah,
Well, they have outdoor seating so they can stay open
that's
as
funny.
long as you're not in
But
an enclosed area. You know.
and now for the listeners, RJ is not in Orange County. You're in San Diego, right? So that's
Yeah,
about a
San Diego.
90. So that's about a 90-minute drive from Orange County, I believe,
Yeah, roughly around
give or
there.
take, depending on traffic, right?
Dude, it's really dog. It's crazy how dog friendly it is out here. Crazy. Like
Oh yeah,
it's they
yeah,
rather have
yeah,
the dogs inside the restaurants or
yeah. I
any other
believe it, man.
places than
I told you
humans.
my ex-girlfriend lives down there.
Yeah, I remember.
One of my ex-girlfriends, I should say.
One of them. Okay. Pim
Here,
Daddy.
dude, I found a. You know what's funny?
You're gonna show me a picture of you and your ex?
Yeah, because it's funny because like I said, as I was packing and moving, man, I found that picture. See, now I got to find it, man. I don't know where I put it. Um,
You got your zoot suit on or what?
oh man, where did I put it? Anyway, yeah, I was packing and I found that picture of me and her. Man, that sucks. Anyway, uh, she's really nice, man. You know what? That relationship obviously didn't work out, but I don't have anything bad to say about her to this day, even though it didn't work out between us. She's a awesome human being. Unfortunately, we haven't talked since, and but she's a great person. But yeah, man. But oh, here it is. Here it is.
You found it.
Here it is. Can you see that, RJ?
Yeah, you got like the jean jacket that you got on. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was down in San Diego. We were like I remember we had gone to dinner and this was a while back, man.
Yeah.
And we had gone to dinner and then we went out for dessert at some place and I don't remember the name of it, but that was in front of the dessert place. But yeah, so that was so yeah, I found that picture and I was like, huh, all right. So yeah, man, I'm very familiar with San Diego, man. I used to go there all the time, obviously because of her. So, but yeah, man, just just want to let you guys all know I didn't quit, man. It's just again, I just have a lot going on right now, so just be patient with me. Um, you know, I'll put out some more episodes here shortly.
I think it's normal, man. I think it's normal. It's normal when you start doing stuff and you like life changing things and you
Yeah,
start to try to adapt to it as a human being. It's
yeah.
normal. It's normal,
Sw-
brother.
it,
It's
it
normal.
just it just sucks moving again, man. I mean, you see all these boxes.
Does your back hurt?
It was hurting me last week. It was hurting last week.
Moving is like one of the most, you're doing a lot of lifting with your legs and your lower
Yeah.
back starts hurting if you don't lift with your legs correctly. One, you get fatigued too. That's another thing. That's how you hurt your lower back. You get fatigued. You move the
Well,
wrong
here's the
way.
thing. That's why originally I said originally I said, okay, I'm gonna move to Orange County at the end of July, and then I was like, oh hell no, because then I have to work double time, right? So I said the end of August, so I can buy a few more weeks and not have to work so much, right? I can kind of
Yeah.
spread it out. So I've been moving like a few boxes a day.
That's an awesome poster though, by the way. That's that Jerry Rice, dude. I grew up with Jerry Rice. He was like my idol. Like I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I didn't, dude. He was just like I looked up to him because he was just so like the best, right?
Jerry Rice autograph football. I'm keeping
Yeah.
that. Well, I don't know. I might get rid of this. We'll see.
Yeah, nah. Just send that over here, buddy. That dude, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not going to name drop, but my buddy used to play for the 49ers back in the 90s during that whole Steve Young era. And so knowing him, I had direct access to all the players. So every week, man, I used to go to the Santa Clara headquarters, drop off boxes just full of like football cards, photos, and he used to always get them signed for me. He used to always get them signed. Yeah.
That's cool, man. So, when I seen him, I was watching it because I watched the Tea with Gary Vee, and then Jerry Rice is on there. It's like he has his own energy drink, and I was like, dude, it's called the goat or something like that. But
he was one of my favorite players too because I liked his work ethics.
Dude, yeah, exactly. You never heard nothing bad about him. Like,
yeah, I loved his. I mean, you would always hear how in the off season, he would go run the hills, and he would never take any time off. These days, I see him out here in Silicon Valley with some young girls out in the bars and stuff. He out here pimping.
Shit, I'll go up to him and give him a hug.
Man,
badass.
Man, that security would jump your ass.
No, I won't. I got my ways, young. Got my ways.
Oh, you know what? I got a picture. Again, I have to bring some of that stuff down. I got a picture with me and Jerry. Man. Yeah, I'll show it to you next time. Actually, you know what? I think it's on my phone here. Here, let me just open it up. See if you can see it. So this is a picture of me and Jerry Rice and my other ex.
This damn guy. Oh, dude, that's cool. You got the signature too on that picture. That's cool.
Yeah. So cool, man. Well, hey, RJ, I appreciate you doing the show with me. It means a lot. Thank you for for doing that. But again, guys, I'm not going anywhere. It's just going through some personal things in my life right now, and I'm sure everyone can relate. Moving is not fun. It is a pain in the ass. I'm hoping I can get most of this done within the next couple of weeks. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm going to hire a maid to come in at one point, as and just kind of maybe do some cleaning in the main unit here. But yeah, that's about it, man. If you guys live in the Bay Area, and because like I said, I am selling a lot of my stuff. If you guys are interested, message me. I'll let you know what I have. Send you some photos. So yeah. But until next time, guys, I'll try to. I am gonna reach out to Ryan. I feel so bad, man. Again, well, it's good because I don't even remember what we talked about. That's how long it's been, right? So it'll be good to have him back on and redo that interview with Ryan Raymond. So, but yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. And again, if you guys are in Orange County, look me up.
Peace out, guys. Bye.